Record to the cloud. Okay, so we are recording. My youngest just got up, so I may have to pause here for just a second. I wanted to make this just like a 20, maybe 30 minutes that we can go over some stuff. And for those of you that don't know me, my name's Chris Parrott. I am the one that leads Team BusyFit, but we are a whole group of coaches. We are a whole group of always first and foremost challengers. For those of you that don't know my story, I have actually lost 70 pounds with Beachbody. That's 70 pounds with Beachbody programs, primarily following the 21-day fixed nutrition, the containers, and we're going to go over those in a little bit. One of the things that I wanted to address in all of this is, first of all, that weight loss story is not an overnight story. I love my food. I love to go out, and I am a foodie. I love to drink my wines and enjoy and have a good time, and to be able to have that flexibility. So if you're looking for extreme dieting or these extreme programs where you eat nothing but salads or twigs or whatever it is, you're not going to find it here. That's just really not our philosophy. And we're all really busy parents or individuals that just are on the go, and we just want to live and enjoy. And it's finding that balance. So can you hold on 1 second, please? Sorry about that. So I'm really excited to be able to do this call, and the boys slept really late. I've got 2 young boys, and now both of them have decided to get up, and my husband's traveling, so I'm on my own. So we're kind of balancing all of this. Okay, so getting into this, we start with a challenge group, and you come in, and everybody starts, and it's got all of this information, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're kind of like on overload, and you're not really sure, and you get these little tiny containers, and you're like, excuse me, how am I supposed to eat these and survive? And these are not big enough for me to eat on. And I'm just gonna, yeah. And I'm just gonna mute, there's a couple. Okay, and so we have these containers, and you're just like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to live on these. And the reality is that our understanding of portions have really kind of gotten out of hand with what is being served out in public when we go out to eat, and what is reality of what we need for our nutrition. And I will tell you right up front, I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. So if you are looking for people that are, there are people out there that can provide, write a meal plan for you specifically. That's out of the realm of what we are able to do. But what we can do is we can share what we are eating, how we are eating, and then give the tips and tricks back and forth of what has worked for us and what we've learned. Because there's a lot out on the internet that you can learn this on your own. I can learn like that I don't want to be having sugar later in the day, or I don't want my carbs and when they're burning and cycling. So there's a great line that we can all do without actually having to go out and be professionals to do this. And so again, getting up and exercising and setting that appointment 1 time a day is pretty easy. We can do that. And we find that most of us can do that. Come here, baby. We can find that most of us can do that. Where we struggle is the fact that we are eating 3 to 6 times a day what we are supposed to be eating. Life gets in the way. Are we prepared for it? Have we planned for it? And are we being attracted? You say hi to everybody? You want to wave? Yeah. That's my oldest, Brandon. And then my youngest, Blake, is back there. There's another hand coming. And of course, the camera's on, so this is what they want. But what I'm going to go through real quick is I'm going to show you a couple different ways to meal plan, because it's really important to be having a plan so that you can stick to it, because then you're setting yourself up for success. The more times you find that you don't have a plan is the more times that you're going to find that you're going to be making excuses with yourself to run out for fast food, to thaw out a pizza if that's what you happen to have in the freezer, or whatever it is, to derail your success in your nutrition. And honestly, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. You can't say, I'm going to go and do 2 workouts to make up for the splurge that you had last night. It just doesn't work that way. So having a plan, sticking to it, and we say sticking to it, I told you it's about moderation. So 80% of that time is what you are shooting for. 80% of the time to be eating a healthy and balanced diet, to be getting all of your containers in. so that you can enjoy that 20%. If you want to go have some wine, if you want to go out and have pizza night with your family, that you can have it. Brandon? So that you can be enjoying your life and everything that goes on around you and have that balance. So to get started, first of all, you've seen these and the containers showed up. And I don't know about you guys, but when these containers first showed up to me, especially this little thing, I'm glad they hid it inside of the bigger ones. But when I pulled these all out and I went, are you kidding me? This is what I have to eat. That's my first reaction. Because in my mind, there is no way what I'm being given right here is going to be enough to eat. I am going to tell you right now, it is enough. So no matter what it is that you say, it is enough to eat. So get that in your mind. We figure out the calorie bracket based on what your activity level is and what your nutrition level is, okay? So we go in, you can see I still have my original 21 Day Fix book. I was one of the first rounds to get 21 Day Fix when it was first released. I got it even before, when they first started, there was such a mass demand for it that we ran out. We ran out of 21 Day Fixes with Beachbody, and there was a huge backlog. And I got mine before that backlog hit, and I am so thankful I did. But I have this original book. It has been, you can see the edges of it, and it's just beat all to hell. There's notes in it all over the place. So this is your book. This is your Bible for your nutrition. Don't be scared to mark it up. If you're using the on-demand, it's even better because you have it electronically and you can print it out. So you can do the best of both worlds. If you knew that in the on-demand, you have access to all of the nutrition programs, all of the workouts in there. And so you have things like this tracker. Print off this tracker, and instead of tracking what you are eating as you eat it, be proactive in it and say, okay, on Monday, I am going to have the berries, and here is my chicken. And we start to say, okay, I can have a red here, and I can have 6, reds. Reds are my protein. I can have those. Okay, so I can have 2 hard-boiled eggs. Might be something that you like. That's a quick and easy snack to have on hand at all times. Always my go-to. My Shakeology counts as a red. There's 2 reds I've just planned. Have protein at every single meal. So then you're like, okay, if I have to have a red at every meal, all right, I've got my Shakeology, I've got my eggs, maybe I'm going to have some chicken at lunch. There's 3 reds. I'm going to have some cottage cheese in the afternoon. There's 4 reds. And I'm going to have fish at dinner that night. There's my 5 reds. And then you can start adding in the colors, which is just all those colors represent are the different food groups of what you should be having. And in reality, what you should be having throughout the day. So you're not going to have, 6 reds at one meal, or you're not going to eat all of your fruit in one sitting. You get to have this throughout the entire day. You'll notice as you learn your containers, everybody has their favorites. A lot of people like yellow. These are our yummy carbs and everything else that we get to eat. Personally, blue is my favorite. Blue is the healthy fats, i.e. cheese. I love cheese. And you notice, though, you never get more than one of them. So you know what? It doesn't mean you can only eat it one time a day. Here's my quick trick for you. Blue or any other colors can be broken up into quarters, halves, thirds, whatever it is that you want throughout the day. So maybe you want a little bit of cheese on that salad. Have cheese on the salad. And then maybe you want some avocado with dinner that night. Have half and half. So you can still have the best of both worlds. There's ways to do this, and nothing says you have to have one full portion or one full container at a time. And so kind of few different ways to approach meal planning, because all of our brains work a little bit differently. For me, what I did at first, and I had always kept this sticky note. If you can see that sticky note, I literally, every week, this is how I started out meal planning. So I could count in my head, like where my red was, and then I'd check off a red. Okay, I got my purple. Okay, I check off my purple. It's since evolved that you can go out, or you can do this too if you've printed this off maybe you've printed off a couple of those copies, and you can check them off. Some people are like, nope, I've got it, and they want to, as they eat throughout the day, and then they can adjust. and see where they need to have the purple, where they need to fill in another green. Green is the veggies, and everybody seems to always kind of fall a little short on veggies. Where do we need to make sure that we're getting them in? And our veggies have a lot of fiber in them, and the fiber is going to make you feel fuller. So make sure you're getting your veggies in, because you don't want to have that hunger feeling. After that, I now have a blank meal planner that I start with every week. It is horribly chicken scratched by the end of it. I write all over it and till I can figure it out. And you can kind of, maybe I need to move a yellow from, at the end of the day, or I've had too many yellows planned for the day, and you can see where you need to adjust. So that's 2 ways to do it. And then at the end of it, you can start looking and seeing you've got a final plan. I always put my plan up on the calendar or up on the refrigerator so that I'm looking at it every day. Put it someplace where you can see it, and the more you see it, the more likely you are to stick to it. And this is just on planning. And then we go from looking at the plans and say, and where do we get these resources from? So we have our friend Google, and I'm not kidding you, do a 21-day fixed meal plan, and you will have tons of things that come up. So don't make this too complicated on yourself. Print off, when you Google and you're looking, you're like, hey, I like this girl's meal plan, pull it up, and you're like, hey, she's in my calorie bracket. This is great. Print it off, and you can find those recipes really easily. Because most of the time when you have a 21-day fix meal plan that you've pulled up, that you've Googled, you're either going to find it in the book, you're going to find it on Team Beachbody's website, or more than likely, if that person's posted it maybe on Pinterest, you can go to Pinterest and say, I need a 21-day fix approved Mexican casserole. And guess what? Shows up right there for you. So there's so many really easy resources and tools. On my Pinterest page, I have a board totally dedicated to 21-day fix approved recipes, so that you have plenty of resources out there. Now, the flip side of that is that you can get really overwhelmed really quickly because there's so many resources. And so we don't want you doing that either. Keep it simple, especially when you're starting out, especially when you're trying to figure out these containers. You might need to sit down and 30 minutes to an hour really figure out your containers and figure out where in your day that you need them. And then you're going to go through that week. And as you go through, you might find that you need a little bit of energy, or maybe you're losing it in the afternoon, and you need to adjust because your food is really going to affect your behavior. And I say that and you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what that means. And I don't even know how to figure that out. That's what your coach is here for. You come back to your coach and say, I'm struggling here late in the afternoon. Guess what? Maybe you need to add a little bit more blue to get that healthy fat. You're not getting enough healthy fat, or you're not getting the healthy fat in the right time of day. But that's what your coach is here for. So don't struggle in silence. That's what the challenge group is here for. That's why we have those daily posts. Don't struggle in silence. Ask these questions, because I will tell you, from each one of us coaches that are in here right now, these programs work. It's about how we figured out we have to know when to ask for help and say, I'm kind of struggling right here. I did the same thing when I started because I had done a ton of nutrition plans. These were quick fix solutions, and it really took a while to adjust my brain to say, oh, okay, I really do need to be eating this much. I really do need to be eating this frequently. And guess what? You really do actually lose weight when you're more consistent like that, instead of the whole starvation mode that a lot of us, if you've tried anything, I've tried so many different programs, and starvation mode is not a long-term solution for you, nor is it going to get you those results that you want to see. So we talked about meal planning, and now we get into actually looking at these containers. And this is what I really want to see from you guys on containers. The expectation is not for you to eat from the containers. It's not to freak out every time you have a stew and you're not really sure if oh my gosh, I only got a half a veg in there, or there might only be a quarter, or maybe I've got too much meat. It's teaching you how to eyeball what a proper portion size is and to balance. And so I will tell you, the 21-day fix is probably the most flexible of nutrition plans I've ever seen out there. It's not going to penalize you because, oh my gosh, you didn't you ate too much of a healthy fat one day, you just get back right to the balance the next day. And so that's why it gives you a range. We're not counting calories here. It's not down to that exact science. There is a range of calories here for you for that exact reason, because as long as you're eating that proper portion size, you can eat just about anything. And there are healthier versions of things, of anything out there that you can make. So it's these small adjustments and small tweaks in what you're doing that are going to get you these results. And so I'm going to bring you over here now. Let's see if we can. All right, what I want to show you. So I look at these containers, and the point of these containers is not, like I said, to eat from them. What you want to do is, I use them as snack containers when I'm taking them on the go, but whenever I'm at home, when I'm first starting, this is what I did. I wanted to know what a proper meal portion looked like. So I said, okay, here's my red. I cut up my chicken. I took my chicken breast. My family thought I was kind of weird at first, but I wanted to see what fit into a container. And so I took a chicken breast and I cut it up. And then I put it on the plate. And I looked, and that was 3/4 of a mid to large size chicken breast fits into this. So you don't have to cut up your food every time into pieces. But when you're first starting out and you want to see like how much of a whole piece actually fits into this container, this is what I did. I did this with my fish. I did this with my steak. If I had a cheeseburger, I cut it up into pieces so I could fit it into the container, so I could see and I could know that I could have a whole patty that fits into my hand. I could eat a whole cheeseburger. I didn't know that. That's not what this container looks like. So it kind of plays tricks with you. Your mind plays tricks with you when you have these containers at first. So I did this. This is 3/4 of a chicken breast. And you can have 1 1/4 containers at a time. Nothing says you only have to have 1 container at a time. So if you're falling short on a green and you need to have 2 greens at a meal, have two servings of vegetables at a meal. That's fine. So you've got your red. I would probably actually, I would have done the whole chicken breast and counted it for the 1 1/4 reds. My yellow, we love our yellows. I will eat potatoes. My husband loves the whole veg potato meat balance. So, I put them in the container, put them on the plate. I was like, oh, that's pretty decent. Okay, I was probably eating too many potatoes. I can cut down, but I can still have my potatoes, and that's awesome. And then I look and say, all right, my veg, which this is, I've got some squash that we're making up tonight. And I'll talk about prep here in just a second. You're like, why do you have raw squash on your plate right now? But I would have butternut squash. So look at what your plate looks like right now. That's not what you see when you originally have these containers, is it? It's not. You look at them and you're like, it's so small, it's never going to feed me. But then you look at your plate and your plate's full. You're not going to go hungry from something like this. You're going to eat it. There's plenty of seasonings and every other way that you can make it to enjoy. And then you say, okay, maybe I just need a little sweet tooth. Hold on a second. Do you know what a purple container? I mean, it's a full, I can't even get all the blueberries in here. So you've got a full dish. It's 1 cup. So the greens and the purples are 1 cup. That's a sufficient meal right here. That is going to fill you up. That's going to feed you. But you have to go, and it's one of those that you kind of trust in the process until it does work for you. You want a blueberry? You want a blueberry, Ninja? Okay. Want some chicken? Yeah. And so you trust in that process, and it's not going to be the first day. It's not even going to be the second day. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I kind of get it. Maybe on the 3rd day, maybe at the end of the 1st week, that the eating, you're getting out of your head at this point. You get out of the mental, I'm not getting enough, I'm not getting enough. You are getting enough. You just have to battle that mental and break through that to realize that this full plate is exactly what I need to be eating. So that's my tip for you to get started on your food, how to approach the containers. Did you guys know that you can go to Team Beachbody's website and there's an actual meal planner tool for you there? So I talked about like what I do in Googling and finding different recipes and eating from the book like this. If that still overwhelms you, Team Beachbody, that's why we signed up for this, signed up for these resources. You can go onto Team Beachbody's website, you sign in to your page with whatever it is, whatever username and password that you started with. And you go to Eat Smart. Here, can I flip this around on here? Okay. So if you guys can see this, you go up to, you see where the Eat Smart. So if you're in the Team Beachbody webpage, you Eat Smart. There is the meal planner right there. My personalized meal plan. And so I had set one up. I just chose Low Carb Express because if you're in a weight loss mode and what you're really trying to do, Low Carb Express, like you're not bodybuilding or anything like that, that just happens to be the one I set up. 1,300 calorie range. And remember, this meal planner tool was here before the 21-day fix came about. So it's incorporating a lot of the meal plans in here. You can always change the meal plan too. So as you go along and you've maybe gotten to the point that you're at maintenance, you can change, and maybe you don't need the Low Carb Express anymore. Maybe you need more of a maintenance plan. You can always change that. So it's really neat. So you come in here and it says here, it gives you every week. You can view it by day. You can view it by week. Here, right here, I was telling you where you can change your meal plan or calorie level. And then you go through and look at every day is already planned out for you. I get nachos. All right, this girl loves Mexican food. So the minute you told me I could have nachos, I was a fan of this tool. Curried chicken, pineapple, rice salad. You can have some pumpkin seeds. And then here's the really cool part. If you go to details, check this out. And then we add the item. Hold on, I'm trying to do this one-handed while holding this. And then you add the item. It goes to, and it gives you the actual ingredients that you need, the recipe, and check this out. Here's all your nutrition facts too. You can print it from here. Really, really great tool. And then you know what you do? You get to save it, and it grows with you. So then you have your recipe book. You have a recipe book built for you right here based on your nutritional needs. So you don't have to be going out and spending all this time finding these new recipes that you're like, and then it didn't have all the ingredients and I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Beachbody just gave it to you right there. And maybe there's something in there that you're like, I don't really like pumpkin seeds for a snack, I can get my orange in just fine. Then you don't add it for your snack. You get to take it out. And so each week that you add something, it's growing with you, and it knows you took out pumpkin seeds. So it's not going to put pumpkin seeds in again the following week. And then eventually, let's see here. Oh, and it does a shopping list for you too. That's the other cool thing. So you don't have to spend like all this time like writing everything out. It's a really smart tool. Use this to your advantage, okay? And so now I've given you like 3 different ways now to start meal planning, to get this documented in the day, in your week. Print it out, write it out, stick it up on your fridge so that you're able to see it every single day. Now, what happens, I like to do this all in one day. I will meal plan, and you might want to take it a couple days as you're starting out. Like maybe Saturday you want to plan all of this out, and you're like, okay, and then I'm going to go to the grocery store. And you go to the grocery store on Saturday, and then you come back on Sunday and say, all right, I'm going to prep everything I can. Now, why do I prep things? First of all, me personally, I've got 2 little boys that have crazy schedules. My husband's in school. I work full-time. He works full-time. So time is a precious commodity for us. Whatever we can have prepared ahead of time during the week, we try, or ahead of the week that we can just grab during the week is going to save us time and gives us an extra advantage of making sure that we're staying on our meal plan. Does that make sense? So on Sundays, what do we do? Anything that like we hard boil up eggs, right? You can do 2 dozen up at a time. Boom, that's done. That's a quick red container protein snack. 2, we will do things like chopper veggies. So how many times if I'm going to spiralize and make some zoodles, which are those zucchini noodles, it's a great pasta substitute. It takes a little bit of time to crank those out. I can save 20, 30 minutes during the week by hurrying up and just doing up in bulk, like 4 of them, 4 zucchinis up, and I have them ready to go, because zucchini noodles will stay for like, if you leave them in an airtight container, I've had them for a week, 2 weeks at a time, and I'm still able to use them. Like if they're uncooked. What else do? We will portion up the chicken. Like you saw that. I'll cook up a thing of chicken breasts at the beginning of the week, and I've got a really great chicken. Oh my gosh, I've finally found the recipe. I think I've perfected it. That just keeps it really juicy. And it's not a lot of spices to it. So you can kind of mix and match it to just about any dish that you have for chicken that week, and then reuse it, so that you're not spending that time cooking chicken during the week. So there's another 20 to 30 minutes on your meal that you're trying to cook it or trying to bake it, where you can cut time. So your meal plan and your meal prep is really going to be a personal preference to you and how much time you need during the week. So I need 30-minute meals. I need meals that I can come home and like just start grabbing things, and it doesn't require a lot of Kristen, yes, I will definitely share the chicken recipe. I will share it in the group, and then I will post it this afternoon on my Busy Does Fit page as well. So I will get that. It's super easy, but I don't remember recipes off the top of my head. I just had a piece of chicken because I'm getting hungry and I need my breakfast. Don't go too far in between meals. That's the other nice thing about what we're doing with this program, is that basically you're stoking the fire so it never goes out and it stays consistent that whole time. So that's why you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm eating all the time at first. And you are, because we go in these and we have these big meals, these big, huge meals, and our bodies can't digest them in time. And then they digest into nothing. And you go in this mode, nothing, until you get another big meal, expands your stomach out again, and your body struggles to process all of that food and all of that intake at once. So instead of going like this to this and going to such extremes, what we're essentially doing is keeping you at this level throughout the day, so that you're in a constant fat burning mode, instead of your body like trying to process, trying to starve itself, trying to process, trying to starve itself. So for anybody that's out there thinking, I don't need to have my snack, or I don't need to have this, there's a reason that it is in the plan. So you want to work as hard as you can to stick to that 5 to 6 meals a day. Okay, so we've talked about the containers. We've talked about meal planning. We've talked about why we meal prep. If you guys need ideas on other things that you can meal prep ahead of time to have ready. Some people like to just eat the exact same thing all week, and you will see these really pretty pictures of meal plans or meal preps of these containers with broccoli, rice, chicken, broccoli, rice, chicken, broccoli, rice, chicken. If that is you and you can do that, awesome. There is your meal plan and meal prep, and it was super easy for you. I like a little bit of variety, and I personally do the leftover approach, where whatever we had for dinner that night, we make enough to have for lunch the next day. Dinner, lunch the next day. The danger comes, like what happened last week with me. I tried a recipe, epic fail, it was stuffed chicken breast with spinach, pesto, and goat cheese, and it sounds really good. It didn't taste really good, and then I burnt it, and so I had to eat burnt chicken for dinner and for lunch. So it happens. I still ate it because that was just on the plan, and I'm on my own this week, so I just didn't want to waste the food. I hate wasting food. That's the other thing. So the leftover approach is another one. The point is getting into something that you are comfortable with. We share what is working with us. I share, Kristen shares, Nicole shares, Lauren's going to share, everybody that's on here, we share what's working with us, so that when new people are coming in, they're saying, oh, okay, that's not really working for me, but oh my gosh, this does work for me. And we can all, as a community, share until it clicks for us. And that's really what we want, is to click. I'm learning from everybody every single time we have a group. Somebody comes in with a new recipe. Somebody comes in with a new approach. They just talked me into getting a Instapot. So I have been a crock pot girl forever, and I've got to tell you, like, I will admit that a lot of times my chicken ends up tasting like kind of mushy at the end, because I'm just like, you've cooked your food for 8 hours. I get it. So they talked me into an Instapot. We're going to try an Instapot this fall instead of always doing the crock pot, small little things. It's still something that's going to be there to help me save time, to stay on track, but don't be scared to try new things, so that you can get a hang of this, so that you are doing it consistently. One of the drawbacks of doing this consistently, like I told you at the very beginning of this call, is that we are not here for extreme results. So if you're looking to drop 30 pounds in a week, this isn't the place for you. I'll tell you that right now, and I'm sorry if anybody feels the need to leave, but I think we're all in such a common place. What we would rather do is know that that 30 pounds is going to come off and it's going to stay off. And so we set ourselves up for success. That 30 pounds is going to come off. That 50 pounds is going to come off. That 75 pounds is going to come off. Whatever your goal is, I will tell you right now that if you commit to this program, to these programs, to this consistency, you are going to achieve those goals. You will achieve them. I can tell you with absolute fact that you are going to achieve them. If you get to a point, some weeks you're going to be on. Week 1, I'm on. Week 2, I'm on. Oh, week 3, it's getting hard. It's going to happen. And so we are going to, that's what the groups are there for, to help pull you out when it does start to get hard. And maybe you do want to start making excuses, because this, guess what? It's not about what you did yesterday. It's not about what you ate yesterday. It's about what you come back and do the next day, and how you get right back on the wagon, you get right back up. Because this is going to be really scary for some people, but guess what? There is no end. There isn't. This is a journey that we are on, and it's a lifestyle that we are undertaking. And so it feels really good to know I have flexibility, that I can drink my wine one night and I can turn around and I can rock some, okay, I really don't like salad, but I will eat salad. I know that there's a nutritional value to it, and there's a lot I can do to dress it up and enjoy it. So I can rock my wine one night and I will turn around and have fish and salad the next night, to keep that balance and to be more consistent. So we're getting closer to achieving that 80-20 goal. 80% of the time we're just rocking it, and that 20% of the time we have the flexibility. We can enjoy our food. Meanwhile, we're being consistent in our workouts, in our daily workouts. Daily, I said daily, as in we should be 5 to 6 times a week. Make sure you have 1 day of rest in there. Don't go over extreme. 30 minutes, 22 minutes, somewhere in there. 45 minutes is fine, that range. You don't have to kill yourself at the gym for hours at a time. These programs are set up and designed for you to be focused on the specific body parts. Does that make sense? So each day we're rotating. That's why we follow the program. So you're not overworking your legs. You're not overworking cardio. You won't overstrain a specific body part. That's what I've really liked about it. And then I don't have to think about it. Can I have a milkshake? Yep, I will make you a shake as soon as we are done. And then you have your kids that end up loving and drinking all your Shakeology too. So yeah, hi. Yeah, you're cute. You know it. Yeah, and so that's the other thing, the Shakeology part of it. You say, oh, what can a shake be doing for me? Give me just 1 second. What can a shake be doing for me? I will tell you, I went from pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, to the point that they were looking to put me on medication after my kids. Significantly, I mean, I was 200 plus pounds, and so we had a lot of problems. And when I undertook Shakeology, I asked my doctor, I'm like, give me a year. Like, let's come back next year and see what I can do to fix, because I didn't want to go on medication. I knew that much. And in that year, when I came back, and I was seeing a German doctor at the time, we were still stationed over in Germany. So Germans are really not impressed with Americans and their nutrition at all. It's a statement of fact, and it's well-deserved. And when I came back and he said, I don't even know who you are. It was incredible, because my numbers had completely turned around, because I was getting that proper vitamins and nutrition. I wasn't perfect in my eating at that point, but I knew every day I was drinking my Shakeology and I was giving myself that level of nutrition that I needed. And it came back in the proof of my numbers went from, you really need to be on medication, we really need to start controlling this, to, I don't even think you need a daily vitamin anymore. Like, that's what we're getting. So it is now 3 years later, consistently, I haven't had to take a daily vitamin. My numbers come back. Every single one of my numbers, I don't even know what all of them are, to be honest with you, but I know that I need to be looking at the cholesterol, because that runs high in my family. The high blood pressure runs in the family. There's a lot of the things that we look at, and all of my numbers have stayed consistent for the last 3 years. And the 2 things that have been consistent have been my nutrition and Shakeology, and my exercise. So I'm not saying for everybody that, oh, get off of your multivitamin or whatever it is that you're taking, but to have a true discussion with your doctor with these are your goals and looking at what you need to be achieving, you can achieve them if you are consistent in your daily actions. So that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to get this journey started for people. I'm excited, but I can't do it for you. And we talk about this in the team a lot, and we're like, oh, I just know that they need to eat better, or they need to do this. We are here to support you. We are here for an exchange and community and creating in these ideas together to help motivate each other, to help support each other. But ultimately, it comes down to you. You have to want it. And if you want it, we are here to support you. We are here to help you, and you will achieve those goals. And it's incredible. I've loved seeing what our team has grown to in the last 2 years, and what we continue to grow to. And so I have every reason to believe that we are going to hit our 1,000-pound goal. As a team, we're going to lose 1,000 pounds this year. And we are well on our way to that, just from what people have checked in. And not everybody checks in every time at the end of a group. So I think we're probably actually over 1,000 pounds for the year. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Collectively, we've done that as a team together. So with that said, okay, perfect. I want to open it up to any questions that anybody might have. Do we have any struggles? Just unmute yourself and jump in if you've got questions. If you've been meal planning for a while and you're still struggling, if this is your first time meal planning and you're going, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know. Anybody have questions or just something that they want to add to it? No, maybe. Don't be shy. I know most of you in here, so I know y'all ain't shy. Lauren, it's great to see you again. Super. I know you had a busy summer just like the rest of us, so really, really happy to have you in here. Let's see who else we got on.
Yeah, sorry I was late. I thought it was 8:30 for some reason. So
I hope I didn't say 8:30. I hope everybody's not going to jump on in like 5 minutes.
that was just my head being wrong. So
Okay. Perfect. Glad to see you again. We got a couple people on the phone, so that's awesome. I see Charlene on here too. So great. I hope you guys, this gave you some good ideas to get started for this week. So today, tomorrow, I want to see you guys go out. I hope for you that you do this meal plan. Either go onto the Team Beachbody website and just print that out and use that. Customize it as you need. Go out and Google 21-day fix approved recipes, because it doesn't matter what program, nutrition or what workout program you're doing. All of them are based on the containers now, essentially, unless you use some of the older programs. So all of them use this container. So start understanding what these proper portions look like on a plate, so that when you're going out to eat, you can still enjoy and order whatever it is you're going to order. You just know how much of it you're supposed to be eating at one time to keep yourself burning in that burning mode like that. Yeah, and with that said, next week, I would like to do the call again. The plan is to make sure that there's a resource here for you to come in and voice where your struggles are at, or voice what your successes are, and to share that. And so next week, after we've had another week of meal plans down and prepping and going through it, then we can start talking a little bit more and start fine-tuning what it is that you're doing, and to make sure that you're checking in. I want to be here and giving you the resources. This is something that I've thought about doing, and I'm really happy to be executing it now, and being able to bring this here for you guys. I love what I do as a coach. I love helping others, and I will do whatever I can. My heart is huge for you. I will do whatever I can to help see you have that success, and to feel that confidence, to feel that that sense of pride in like what you can accomplish. I know what that feeling is. It's an incredible feeling, and I want it for everybody. Yeah, so just remember, every time that you're doing this, the influence and the impact that you're making on those around you, it's not just, it is for you, and you do it for you, but you're doing it for your family. You're doing it for, your spouse, your children, your coworkers, anybody around you, your neighbors, your friends, your roommate. Every time they see you making a healthy choice, you're impacting their lives as well. And that's really powerful stuff. So with that said, If there's nothing from anybody else, I'll get this recording up. It will be in the files section of the challenge group, if you guys know where that's at. I will get this recording up later this afternoon. It takes a little bit to download or to go up to the cloud and then to put onto YouTube, but we'll be good. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the group. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Day. It's day. Time to hit the farmer's market. Bye.